In this video, I'm going to talk about why the data won't save you when we're talking about real estate, stocks, crypto, other financial markets. So this is going to be an interesting video, so stick around. I'm 𝐎𝐕𝐈𝐃𝐄𝐒. I talk about Canadian real estate in my local market of Abbotsford and the Fraser Valley. And if you guys get any value or entertainment from my videos, all that I ask is you subscribe to the channel, like the video, and if you want to chat, you can do so by booking a call into my calendar with a link I provided down in the description so me and you can chat. So I see all these videos out there right now with YouTubers, pulling up like historical data, historical charts, being like, oh, in 2008 when the government finally announced the recession, that's when stocks bottomed and you should wait till we call a recession. And they'll pull up like all of these historical charts and data and yield inversions and like all these kinds of things. And I'm going to go over my beef with this in this video. So I'm going to explain how I understand financial markets. So for example, if you were to buy Apple stock, for you to buy shares in Apple, somebody else on the other side of the order book has to actually be willing to sell you those shares. Same thing, if you were going to sell shares of Apple, somebody else on the other side has to actually want to buy those shares from you. Now this isn't entirely accurate, but for the most part, this is mostly accurate. For you to make money in stocks, crypto, or even real estate, realistically, the two ways you're going to make it is either if somebody else buys into that asset, sells out of it, and loses money. That's where your gain is going to come from, is from other people losing money. And this is exactly why Warren Buffett calls the stock market the transfer of wealth from the impatient to the patient, because you're basically just stealing money from a bunch of people who are impatient, right? Or the other way is getting into an asset before everyone else does, and then you capitalizing on the new flow of money entering the stock or the asset or the real estate market or whatever it is. Now, obviously there doesn't ring completely true, but this is just a very crude explanation of how I look at investing, buying, selling assets. Therefore, financial markets are basically PvP, player versus player, which is a video game terminology, but I used to play a lot of video games, so that's the terminology I'm going to use for investing in financial markets. You're versing everybody else. That's who you're playing against, because you're only going to make money if they lose money or if you beat them to whatever it is, both buying or selling. So the problem that you're going to run into if you use data to make decisions is that with the age of the internet, everybody else and their grandmother is already aware of that data, right? So if we know that, the stock market will usually hit a bottom once the government calls a recession, and everybody already knows that, and that's what happened last time, well, now this time, everyone's probably going to start buying into stocks before the recession's ever called, because they know it'll bottom once it's called, based on historical data. Doesn't have to happen exactly like this. I'm just giving you guys an example of what happens once everybody already knows the data that's there. So instead of making decisions solely based on data, I like to make decisions based on what I think other people are going to do about that data. I like to make decisions based on what I think other people's decisions are going to be based on the data that's available. Because I'm not competing with the data. I'm not trying to beat this mysterious market, right? I'm not trying to beat the market. I'm trying to beat everybody else that's involved in the market. So if I look at the data and I think, okay, this is what it is, what does everybody else think about this data? And what are they going to do about that data? Because if I can kind of theorize what everyone else is going to do about the data that's available, then I know how to beat them. Then I know I either need to sell or I need to buy. If historical data is telling me that Bitcoin usually goes up every 4 years because of the Bitcoin halving, but now, after Bitcoin's been around for 15 years or whatever it is, and everybody knows that, well, people are probably going to start buying Bitcoin long before the halving ever happens, meaning you probably need to be in pretty soon. If we know real estate usually bottoms 6 months after the recession is called, then you're probably going to want to be in before they call the recession or slightly after they call the recession. Again, these are all just examples, but I'm just giving you guys my overall thought process, I guess, when it comes to investing, is that you're not competing against this mysterious market. You're competing against everyone else involved in the market, and you just need to kind of theorize what is the majority of people doing and basically do the opposite of it. And Warren Buffett has been preaching this forever. He just says it in different words. I'm just trying to explain it in a different manner, but he basically says, be fearful when others are greedy and greedy when others are fearful. That's a one-sentence way to basically sum up everything that I said in this video. But anyways, use your own philosophy, come up with your own strategy. That's mine. If you hate it, you can tell me how I don't know, say something hateful about me and attack me personally in the comments if you'd like to. If you don't want to do that, you can like the video or subscribe to my channel. I'm 𝐻𝐿𝐄𝐄𝐒, and I'm making moves to move you. Peace.